What's up, guys? Little shop update here. Uh, working on it with M4 right now. So I got all that to do. I got a couple of 207 stock, and this stuff sitting here in the shop rusts like almost instantly, not being heat treated. But I got some 207, and then I got a whole bunch of 103. So once all those are done, they'll go out for heat treat and everything. I guess talk about some of these here. I don't think I showed these yet. This one's going to be a very nice cutter. It's very lean. Then it's going to be 600 grit hand rub satin, horizontal, then 600 diagonal with the mirror swedge, and then the handle is going to come like that. Something like this, probably. Because on my last batch, well, not batch, but last couple knives, I brought the handle back in here, and when you're in an overhand grip, it is super uncomfortable. So that handle being up there, you have lots of traction, but in an overhand grip, you also have a handle to hold on to instead of being on just pure metal. Taper tang, and then this one's going to be mirror, and then 600 flats. You got jimping back there. They're all ground, real lean. Taper tang. This one was just, I don't know, I got a little carried away. I just started grinding, and then I just kept grinding more and more. So I ended up with 4 grinds and Tano, and then this is hollow here and thin as well. And then jimping and checkering. I did put some thought into this. Since I'm working with 207 stock, I have a lot of strength in the blade, so I can put a very lean tip on it because the rest of the knife is actually very strong. Same with this one. So you can have increased penetration power, but you still have the overall strength of the knife, which is one of the reasons I like relief hollow grinds, not T hollow grinds. Like this one is a T hollow grind. It's deep in here, in this area, whereas these, they almost look flat. But the relief hollow grind helps for sharpening. There's not as much metal to take away. But as I was saying, with hollow grinds, the relief hollow grinds, you get extra metal here if you don't do full flat. And if you don't do full flat, then you're essentially making a wedge, but the wedge stops here, which is good for strength, but not so good for cutting. This is kind of the lesser of two evils. It's not going to perform like full flat, but it's going to be stronger laterally. So there's that one. Jimping, checkering, jimping and slots. And then this one is just done with the chainsaw file, and then again over top, and then grooves put in right there. So it has to be really aggressive because the wider it is, the more aggression you need. This one is also hollow ground. And I put a swedge up there to give it a little extra penetration, but it still has a really strong tip. I'm shaking extremely bad. And then jimping, checkering, end the lines. And this one's going to be taper tang when I get around to it. And then this ugly thing, I'm probably going to mirror it, I don't know. The ones I'm doing mirror on now, the M4, is probably going to be the only ones I do it, unless it's per request, because it's a lot of work, and it's just not really cost efficient, I guess you could say. And all these are 103 stock here. Cliff's gonna get one of, or a couple, I don't care how many he gets, but of the 103. He said he wanted 103 instead of 207. If there's one here you like, let me know. If not, I'll just keep making them, do different designs. What do I want to get to? Oh, when I do my grinds for the hollow, grab one here. That's not going to be a good example. Okay, so when most people do a hollow grind, they hold it perpendicular to the wheel, such as this. When I do my hollow grind, I actually come in here like this and hold it at an angle. So, although this is only an 8-inch wheel, you actually get it's going across this way. So you're getting a much bigger wheel size, and it's like a flat grind with a hollow relief. Is the best way I can describe it. Whereas this one, I put flat in there, perpendicular to it, and just across instead of coming in like this. So you'll see my grind lined here. The plunge, it's like that. So there's that. I did get some equipment finally. So I got my buffer. I went with the 1800 RPMs as opposed to the Wheel of Death 3400. I wanted to get the 3/4 horsepower, but that was like $700, so I just went with the 1/4 horsepower. And thus far, I didn't get wheels or anything for that yet, but these are all just done with like up to 3000 grit sandpaper. Well, not this one. This one's just 400 there, but the ones that are mirrored are that. I got myself a bandsaw. It's a Jet. I don't really know the model of it, but it's pretty nice. And then I got a sandblast cabinet as well. So once that's hooked up, and then my vibratory tumbler, a Swaco I gotta get the inverter for it, and then I'll basically be good to go. Oh, and I got a drill press to get rid of that Shopsmith bench model. So right now the shop's a mess, as you can see, but I got to get everything set up, and I think I'm quickly going to be expanding this just because I'm running out of room very quickly. I thought I would have had enough room, but I don't. But I think that's most of the stuff I got going on. About the mirror hammer tone, I wanted to go over that. Here's my little EDC. So you see the mirror hammer tone on there. What I do with that is, so as soon as I get the blade cut out, so I have my stock here. As soon as I cut that out and do a rough profile of it, I'll start mirroring the spine. And then I'll take a small ball peen hammer, and this has to be mirrored as well. Perfect mirror on this, perfect mirror on the steel. And then you put it like a block of wood or something under it, and tap on it to get that finish. But you just have to make sure your hammer stays mirrored the entire time. Otherwise, any scratches in the hammer will go then into the finish of the knife, and you can't get them out later on. And when you're doing it, you also can't touch it throughout the whole process. Otherwise, you'll kind of knock the peaks off of it. So like here, this isn't mirror hammer tone, this is just hammer toned here. Let's see if I can focus. See, that's just regular hammer tone there. Any scratches you put in there are going to stay in there. And then if you, like, I try not even to touch this after it's done, because it does wear it down a little bit. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it actually does work like that. Same goes with, you know, the checkering. You can wear that down when it's not heat treated, depending on how much you handle it. I mean, if you don't handle it much, it don't really matter. But I think that's it. I'll have some of these up for sale as soon as, well, I'll have all of them up for sale as soon as they're done. I still have a few XHP blades here that are available. Let me check. Well, okay. So that one is still available, the one that nobody likes. This one. So heavily contoured, feels really good in the hand. And then I got these back here, but I think these might be sold. We already did videos on these, I believe, and this one. I think I did a video on this one. After working with this M4 to mirror it, it's going to be a breeze getting to like basically any other, you know, lower carbide steel, because this stuff is just ridiculous. And it doesn't help that I don't really have any more 800 grit belts. They're all shot. Yeah, it's not fun. Like I probably have at least 8 hours into this one, just right now, pre-heat treat, at least 8 hours, probably more like 10. So these three here are going to be pretty spendy. These up here will be a lot cheaper. They're not as high finished. Like this one I think is like a 400 grit hand rub. This one's like, no, this one's 600. This one's 400. I don't know what this one's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to mirror that. Probably just satin finish that one. And then there's 180. You can't really tell a huge difference in here, but you get the idea. I do like the 103 though, because they're super light, and you can see I didn't even drill the holes for these yet. I mean, they just weigh nothing at all. Like they're so light, but they're gonna be pretty nice. As far as cutting goes, those are the best ones to go with. If anybody has any ideas on what to do with this one, because it was when I cut the blades out, I only got like 24 inches, and I was left with basically this. Like this is going to get taken up higher, so is this, and then I'll probably put like a ramp back in here and then bring this back, but it just doesn't, it's not an appealing knife. I mean, I don't know, it is what it is. I mean, that's what I was left with. Alright guys, well, I'm going to get back to work. Put an update video, hopefully, when I get more of these done. I haven't been putting videos up lately because I've been working so much. And when you see, you know, a giant stock, a giant pile of steel like this, I mean, it's kind of disconcerting, knowing you have to do all that. And then I even have these back here that aren't even heat treated yet. This is the excess of the XHP batch. But alright guys, see ya.